Welcome to Overcoming Barriers. So, now that you've made it this far, you may be feeling a little overwhelmed with the walls you can run into. After working through this section of the online tool, you should be able to anticipate potential barriers, as well as understand the causes behind them and methods for overcoming them. Humans are creatures of habit, and as such, they are often resistant to change. When anyone approaches a school administration with the ideas about how to make things better, offense can easily be taken. It is important to remember that you are speaking with people who have been working for years at making the curriculum the best it can be, and someone with ideas on how to change it is interfering with their masterpiece. And more than that, is insinuating that it is lacking. It can be even more frustrating to feel that view is coming from someone with so little experience and expertise as a medical student. Keeping in mind how they may view your suggestions will help you to treat the administration with the respect they are due, which can go a long way. It can be very helpful to show the administration how your plan meets their goals. It is a well-known persuasion technique to get the other party to believe your idea was actually their idea. This is a great way to start down that road. Your administration tells you their goals in 100 different ways. You can look at your student handbook, your course objectives, the comments your professors make, the professional capacities graduates are supposed to attain, and more. These things are representations of the things your administration places importance on. You can approach your curriculum committee or a potential project mentor and say, I've noticed how important it is to you all that we students learn blank. You all have shown us that you value blank in our education through blank. Show your administration how your goals actually meet theirs before asking them for help. If they think you are actually the one helping them, they are much more likely to send a yes your way. Show your administration how you are utilizing their assets. Your teaching staff was selected because your school believes in those people. They are there because they bring unique areas of expertise to the school. If you are utilizing one of these faculty members as your course instructor or as a curriculum advisor, making your administration aware of that fact lends credibility to your program. Let them know you will evaluate the course extensively. Your administration may be hesitant to approve a course they are not directly overseeing when they cannot vouch for its quality. Get a faculty member involved in overseeing your course if you can, but either way, utilize evaluation methods to collect data regarding the success of your program, as well as its weaknesses, and use that data to improve your program and validate it to your administration. Furthermore, show them your interest in research. Most schools stand behind their students pursuing academic activities, particularly research. If you let them know this is a research interest of yours, it will both put more academic credibility into your work and give them an added perk of possible publishing. Show them how your changes to the curriculum will benefit them. Will your course, if successful, possibly be implemented at other schools? Would this be something the media would be interested in? Will your program benefit the community in a way that can be advertised? Use your imagination to reveal the added benefits to working to make your dream a reality. As a student, you actually have a unique and invaluable perspective. You are the one going through the curriculum. You have a great grasp on what works and what simply doesn't. You know the areas lacking in your education. You know things your peers are complaining about outside of the classroom. Use that perspective to show your administration how they can utilize you to improve upon their masterpiece. Also, if you show an interest in working as a student representative on the curriculum committee, they will both see your passion for improving the curriculum and know more about your level of dedication. As passionate as you may be about curricular reform, you cannot expect all of your classmates to share that passion. If they do, excellent. Count yourself blessed and work with your peers to make your project even better than you could make it on your own. If, however, you seem to find yourself alone on your mission, realize that it's up to you to make it happen and then get working. When it comes to getting students involved in actually taking your class, there are a few helpful strategies to boosting your class attendance. You can make it required. If you can convince your school's curriculum committee to include your project as an hour in your required morning classes or as part of another required course, that is often ideal, although very hard to achieve. Elective credit is given at some institutions for taking extra classes at lunch in the evening or on the weekends. It is often easier to get your course approved as an elective. If this is what you are able to do, you can boost enrollment by showing students how taking the course will help them down the line. For example, when advertising a course on physician communication skills at my school, I sent emails to the first-year class telling them how the elective will help them ace their OSCE, as well as get them more prepared for starting clinicals. You can use word of mouth. Once your program has been conducted the first time, get enthusiastic students to spread the word about how great the program was. Students listen to their peers, and they will do what they were told is worth it. As sad as it is, medical students are often focused on part-time jobs as resume builders. If you can show students how they can get involved in your program in a way that can add to their resume, your program will be inherently more appetizing. And finally, free food is always a winner. If you can find funding or a donation or even cook yourself, students will follow their noses to the classrooms. As we discussed above, you are an expert in a way. At least, you are an expert in what it's like to go through your current curriculum. You know what you and your classmates need to make the curriculum better. You know it, so the next step is to just make it happen. When designing a curriculum, you rarely need to start from square one. Most of the time, someone has already done most, if not all, of your footwork. Look to sources like AMSA, the AAMC, and other outside sources for curricula that have already been designed. If nothing else, maybe you can adapt bits and pieces of what you find to meet your needs. Also, make sure you are utilizing the assets at your school and that they provide. You most likely already have an expert in your field of interest or someone who knows one already at your school. Get that person involved and see if they are interested in helping to design the curriculum. If they aren't, they will at least be able to point you to invaluable resources for getting you started on your own. Get other medical students involved. Ask your classmates and those in other classes if they have a shared passion in your idea. If they do, form a working group to split up the footwork. Use each other's knowledge bases, resources, and contacts. Finally, no one is born an expert. Those people you admire so much got their knowledge base by studying their field intensely and passionately. Just because you aren't an expert yet doesn't mean you can't be well on your way. Ask your school librarian for help with your catalog and databases, and find out what's already been written about your area of interest. Study it, learn it, and then teach it. As busy as we believe ourselves to be right now, it rarely improves, and your faculty members are pulled in many other directions, much as you are. They will not always be able to offer you much time or support as you'd like. The question then is simply, how much do you care? Because at that point, the buck is passed to you. You can either decide that this project is worth it to you and put in the extra time yourself that your faculty cannot, or you can decide that you don't have the time right now. There is no shame in deciding not to pursue something when you have other priorities that fall above it. However, if you are ready to make your curriculum reform project a major priority, it may fall on your shoulders to find the time to do the necessary work yourself. Most schools have a facility request calendar. Find out how to access yours well in advance and make sure you reserve a space large enough to host your program. If you will only have 20 people attending, do not reserve a space for 150. Reserve an appropriately sized space and do it as soon as possible. If you are unable to find a space large enough to host a large group, you may have to limit the size of your group. I personally like to offer several smaller classes to keep the atmosphere more conversational and to allow for more interaction amongst attendees. If your program is addressing a controversial topic, you need to be aware of that fact and adjust accordingly. There are several things to keep in mind. First, everyone will not agree, and some may vehemently disagree. Hopefully, your classmates will have enough tact to simply refrain from participating if they are opposed to your topic, but be prepared to handle yourself with dignity and to defend your program tactfully if necessary. Also, If you can show your classmates how your educational program will help them become better physicians, they may participate even if the topic makes them uncomfortable. For instance, not every student is comfortable discussing proper GLBT terminology, but most of your classmates will eventually have patients in the future that they will be able to serve better after having taken that class. Finally, discuss both sides of a topic if possible. If your topic is controversial, having a panel discuss different relevant viewpoints will help to attract more students and keep the presentation less one-sided. Thank you for listening, and thank you for letting us help you in your journey to improve education.